Monday. Happy Monday to each and every one of you all. I hope y'all are having a great day today. And if you're not, hopefully I can brighten up your day with this here recipe. How many of you love fried potatoes? Fried potatoes and onions is definitely one of my all-time favorite side dishes. And we don't just have it for breakfast. We have it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, just because they are so delicious and super easy to make. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need you some potatoes. I do not suggest, if you're gonna make fried potatoes, don't use a Yukon Gold potato. And I also don't suggest using those little red potatoes. They're too starchy and too soft to make them what a fried potato should taste like. So I'm using some russet, or I can't remember if these are russet or Idaho, but you can use either one of those. Just laugh with me. Beautiful bell pepper, a nice sweet Vidalia onion, and you're gonna need some spices to make it come together and taste good. We have salt and pepper, garlic and onion powder. We'll be using some parsley flakes just to add some color to the top. I'm gonna put a little bit of Italian seasoning in there. If you don't like it, just leave it out, it'll be okay. Tiny bit of paprika. In this pan here, halfway up this pan, I got about this much cold water. We're gonna do something really interesting to this recipe. Make sure your hands are clean. Let's make fried potatoes the right way. The first thing we're gonna do, and we can just do this together, let's go ahead and start to peel our potatoes. Of course, you can use a peeler. I love using a paring knife. I really do. It just feels good in my hand. I can get it done quick and simple. And sometimes that peeler, you're doing this for days and the potato peels are going all over the place. I would rather do it this way. I'd love to hear from you all. Let me know, do you use a peeler or would you rather, like me, use a paring knife? So here's what I'd like to do. Once I get that potato nice and peeled, let me grab my chef's knife. Then I'm going to cut it this way, okay, just into the half, right? And then I'm going to do like this and do what I can to make these little square pieces all the same size. And there's a reason for that. The reason why I make sure that they're all the same size like this is because when they're cooking up, if you got big ones in the pan and then you got some little tiny ones, those tiny ones will be burnt. And the big ones won't be done, and it's kind of frustrating, right? You want all the potatoes to get done around the same time. So how that's going to work is depending on, how you cut the potatoes. When they're all the same size, they cook at the same time. Sure they do. Do y'all remember back in the days when fried potatoes kind of looked like this? This is the kind of fried potatoes that I grew up on, but it's not how I make mines for my family. It's just not. I don't know when I veered off of that and started to make mines into squares, but I prefer these squares more than I do those, those medallions. I had to wash off my knife because it fell. So we're back. Let's go ahead and get all these potatoes nice and chopped down. And one thing that I'd like to do is we're going to rinse them very well. The purpose for rinsing them very well is getting some of that starch off. Have you ever rinsed off potatoes or had them sitting in water and quickly the water turned like really cloudy? Get rid of that. So how do you do it? Well, what I do, I put it into a pan, a bowl, or whatever, and you just keep rinsing it until that water finally turns nice and clear. And I find that when you do that, the potatoes cook up even better versus having all that starch in them, right? So now here's what we are going to do, and this is super interesting, and this may be different from how you make your fried potatoes. I pre-cook the potatoes. I don't cook them all the way. So this pan right here that has some cold water in them, of course I'm going to rinse them those 4 times, and then we're going to put them back in here. We're going to salt the water. We're going to cook them for about maybe 8 to 10 minutes. We're not aiming to get them soft. We're not aiming to fully cook them. We just want to get a head start on the cooking process because, as you know, if you've ever made fried potatoes before, they take forever and a day. You'll be waiting forever for a pan of fried potatoes to cook. So I figure if you pre-cook them and then you drain them very well in a colander, this is how I do mine always. You drain them very well. After they're drained, you put them in your oil. We're not using a whole lot of oil. If there's one thing that I do not like is fried that are oily. They should never be oily. Just enough oil to coat the bottom of the pan, and maybe during the cooking process you might have to add a little bit of oil, a little bit more, but most of the time that little bit of oil does the job, okay? So now I'm gonna continue to chop these potatoes down. I got about 5 pounds here. And when I come back, I would have washed them off. We're gonna start to pre-cooking our potatoes. And then I wanna talk about the perfect time to put our bell peppers and onions in. Because when these fried potatoes go into the pan, bell peppers and onions don't go in right now. Go ahead and get our potatoes right into this pan of cold water so I can rinse it several times. But what I was saying about the bell peppers and the onions, if you put them in as soon as your potatoes go into that pan, these bell peppers and onions won't have a chance. They'll burn, they'll get super mushy, and that's not what we're looking for. We want them to remain nice and vibrant, still have a little bite to them. So when do we put them in? Well, I put them in like when they have about 10 minutes left to cook. And that's the perfect amount of time. It cooks those vegetables to perfection. It brings out a great sweetness to them. They're not mushy, they don't get burned because you put them in later versus putting them in right now. I've seen people make fried potatoes and they put the onions in right away. And that's not the kind of onion I want where they're burnt. No. Potatoes have been drained about 4 times. The water is nice and clear. We're gonna go ahead and salt it to give those potatoes some good flavor, okay? Lovely. It's not gonna make it salty, don't worry. Cook these just for a little bit, just to start the pre-cook process. In the meantime, why don't we go ahead and get started slicing or dicing up some beautiful bell peppers. Typically when I'm making fried potatoes, I'm using the green bell pepper because that's what I always have around the house. If I had another color, I would add it. It's definitely for flavor, but it gives such a lovely color to your recipe. Absolutely it does. So when they would make fried potatoes growing up at my house, they didn't put bell peppers in it. I don't know when I started putting bell peppers in it, but you know, it had to be early on in my 20s. But now I can't have fried potatoes without green bell peppers in it. I love it. I mean, it makes it taste better. Absolutely. And you got to use a sweet Vidalia onion, you know. Anymore, when I do a lot of cooking, I'm using the sweet Vidalia onions. They taste so good. They taste good raw, and they taste good when you cook them. You bet they do. All right, lovely. There's our bell peppers. Perfect. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to use this whole onion. Sure I am. I don't know what this is going to actually be for dinner. It's afternoon time, and I'm making these now to get them out the way. I'm not sure what we're actually having for dinner. So whatever we're having for dinner, these fried potatoes and onions is going to be the side dish to that. I was thinking maybe some scallops and fish. I guess we'll just kind of see. I guess we'll just see. Whatever it is, I'll make it match so that it'll taste great with fried potatoes and onions. There we go. Lovely. Go ahead and add those potatoes right into that oil. And don't touch them until they start to brown up. This out because we're getting some great color onto these potatoes. And I am so happy. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It's so important that you don't mess with the potatoes until you see that color, right? There we go, because otherwise you'll make them mushy. Okay, so once again, I'm going to put them nice and flat so each potato can touch the bottom of the circumference of the pan so they all can get nice and golden brown. And no, right now is not the time to season it. I like to also season the potatoes towards the end of the cooking process. You go ahead and, you know, if you were to put your garlic and onion powder, those seasonings burn, and I don't want a burnt taste. So I put my seasonings in around about the time that I'm going to put those lovely bell peppers and onions in. It smells so good in here right now. Take another peek in. Getting some lovely brown color onto these potatoes. And a lot of people worry. They say, oh my goodness, Gina, so with you boiling those potatoes, do they ever turn mushy? Absolutely not. Just when you're boiling them, you don't want to boil them, or pre-cook them until they get soft. Just a couple minutes to start the cooking process. All right, now, if you cook them too long and then you try to fry them, they might turn into mashed potatoes. But just a few minutes. Lovely. Let's check and see if we got some golden brown on this side. Oh yeah, we're looking good. Moving in the right direction. We're going to go ahead and put our peppers and onions right in. If you wanted to put like some fresh jalapeno pieces in here, it's lovely. Absolutely it is. My husband likes to spice. You know, every once in a while, for him, I'll put some fresh jalapeno in here right when I'm putting these bell peppers and onions in, and it tastes so good. Just make sure when you're cutting that jalapeno that you're taking out that little white vein that's in the inside. When you take that out, it makes that jalapeno much milder versus being super hot. If you leave that inside part in, it's going to be really hot, but it can be delicious. I'm going to bring my spices over here so we can get it seasoned up. I'm giving you all 3, or I said 3, I meant to say 2. Today I'll be giving you all 2 videos today. So after this video gets uploaded, edited, and all the good things, let a couple hours go by, and then I'll do a video I'm going to do the video right after this, but that video will be released hours after this one. This right here is the garlic powder. I have a lovely shrimp recipe that you all are going to want to make. So I'm super excited to put that video out for you because it's something that I grew up eating that I love, and I know you're going to love it too. That's a little bit of Italian seasoning. Put it in there if you like Italian seasoning, okay? I know not everybody likes it. I put the parsley flakes, dried parsley flakes in just because it's gorgeous. I'm going to put some salt in. When you're making fried potatoes, you have to not be afraid to season these potatoes. They need flavor. This is onion powder. You can see on purpose I'm putting a nice amount of seasoning onto these things. A little bit of paprika. It's not smoked. Just a regular paprika, and really what that's for, just a little bit of color, okay? So what we'll do, leave these spices on the top, and we'll double back. Once that underneath side of the potatoes gets, a little bit more golden brown, then we'll come back and we'll mix in those peppers and onions and the spices. It smells so good in here right now. Yum. Give them a nice stir around. Oh, that smells lovely. I get a beautiful crispiness to them. Oh yeah, the inside's going to be soft and supple, and you see how well seasoned we season these. Moving in the right direction. I'm pretty sure we're going to have some scallops and fried fish to go alongside of these fried potatoes. Would be nice if I had some crab legs as well with the butter sauce. But look at that. I don't want my onions overcooked or the bell peppers. Let me see, bring you in close. Lovely. Fried potatoes are done, and honestly, it really was just that simple. How gorgeous are these? Listen to me. I know. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, what you waiting on? Tell your family and friends. Tell the world what Gina Young's doing in this kitchen on a daily basis. And Father, on today, we thank you for this meal. How lovely is this? How interesting is it to boil the potatoes ahead of time? This is what your fried potatoes should look like. Can you zoom in for them so they can see? Yes, yes, and yes. I'm sorry it got cut off during the prayer, but amen to my prayer, the battery died. Okay, but we're back and we're going to taste it. Let's taste it right now. Gotta have ketchup. I want to know, are you team ketchup when it comes to your fried potatoes? I love ketchup on my fried potatoes. I always will. I'm going in. I'm going to give you some too. Ooh, I'm going to give you some. Look at that crispy potatoes. I want the onions and the bell pepper. And we're going to do that dippity dip, 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 dip. Come in. Take a bite. I'm going in. Every time, so delicious, crispy on the outside, and so flavorful. Make you some, enjoy.